Hello, everybody. Welcome to the latest episode of the FPL Affairs podcast, the podcast that strips back and lays bare our season-long love affair with FPL. In our Game Week 11 team selection video, Duff shares his squad with a chip already activated. But which one, though? We also analyse Weasel's team along with mine, discussing injuries, possible transfers, benchings, and captaincy. There is a rogue captaincy at this moment in time. But whose? Anyway, before we get started, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel for all of our content, and click that bell to be notified each time we reveal something new. Anyway, enough of my small talk. Let's get cracking.
And there's Mo Salah. There goes Haaland. He's on his way again. He's hungry. He scored. Ice cold precision from Palmer. Oh, Saka! That is a diamond of a goal.
Greetings everybody to our Game Week 11 team selection video with me, Matt, aka the FPL Affairs Magpie, Paul, aka the FPL Affairs Weasel, and Mohammed, all the way from Malaysia at what did you say, 8 o'clock in the morning ish, something like that. Yes. Either way, if Paul or I are flagging a little bit, then Mohammed will do all the talking, which I think, spoiler alert, there might be a potential point in the video which that might happen. But anyway, how are you both? Thumbs up, thumbs down, thumbs in the middle in relation to FPL?
Good, very good.
Very good. Right, let's get up our team selection slides. Wrong button.
It's you first, Mohammed.
It's me first. I was supposed to say for the last.
So our team selection thumbnail, in honour of his performance for you, Paul, on Monday, I put Granit Xhaka because we spoke about sub 5.5 million midfielders if people are looking to go there from selling Reinders. And I also put Lewis's suggestion who he got in his wild card in game week 8 that's steady with the points, and Defcon is Elliot Anderson of Forest, and the thoughts that under Sean Dyche, if that he could get back to what he was doing well under Nuno, and I think he's 5.3 million at the moment with Xhaka at 5.1. But anyway, I said at the beginning and at the end of the last video that a chip is active, and shall we find out whose it is? Mohammed,
I'm ready to do tonight.
Talk us through active wild card. I thought you were waiting until game week 13.
Yes, I mean my plan from the start of the season is that I want to wild card in game week 12 or game week 13. But with but then I realized that maybe a lot of my targeted players will have a price rise, and I'm afraid that I will not have enough fun to get them in. So that is why I wildcard in game week 11 to chase the price rise. And by doing that, I have saved 0.6 million already this game week just by wildcarding early.
Without them even playing. Do you want to read out your current squad? Your current wildcard selection?
Yeah, the goalkeeper, definitely I will go with David Raya, the best defender in the league right now, Arsenal. And the bench is Dubravka, 4 million defender, just an enabler. Defender, definitely the Haaland of defense, which is Gabriel. Finally got him in. And then Gehi has been performed very well for Crystal Palace, the highest scoring defender for Palace. Rhys James, a little bit of differential that I choose because of his great fixture. Anderson, and then Hartman for the cheap 4.0 defender. Then moving on to the midfielder, you got Semenyo, Bruno, Declan Rice, Caicedo, Szoboszlai as a Liverpool cover, and finally the forward line, Mateta, Haaland, and Welbeck.
What lost train of thought. Paul, your thoughts on the wild card, first of all.
Yeah, I can't fault it. The only weak link I can see is Hartman. And that, do you have any money in the bank left?
Yes, I have 1.3 million in the bank. A lot to spend.
Oh wow. So yeah, obviously Burnley's fixtures are turning. So yeah, I'd maybe consider upgrading him. But as I said in our group chat, you're gonna have some major selection dilemmas with that squad. That is looking
Yeah,
very strong. And
yeah. I
that
mean,
you
it's
obviously
not
did
my,
fantastic.
yeah. I mean, it's not my final team yet. And with 1.3 million, I can easily upgrade any players in the team that I want. Gives me a lot of flexibility. Maybe I could look at the midfield and the defense. So there's a lot of thought before heading into the Game 11 deadline.
What how many of those squads do you think are locked? Are those players do you think are locked in your wild card?
Well, Haaland definitely locked in. Haaland, Gabriel, uh, Rhys James, Mateta, Semenyo, and Caicedo.
So that and the goalkeepers as well.
Yeah, the goalkeeper. Yeah, I think the goalkeeper as well. I mean, I have thought about maybe getting Nick Pope to cover for Newcastle defense, but right now Raya is the obvious choice that I don't want.
So that was what Raya, Dubravka, Gabriel, Reece James, Semenyo, Caicedo, Haaland, Mateta. So about eight locked,
Right.
you
Because
say?
I mean, with the money, yeah, with the money that I have, I mean, I can upgrade Soboslai to Gakpo, and obviously Gakpo is more attacking, but
Mm.
Soboslai takes set piece. I can also bring in Ismail Assar for Soboslai, and the well back position I can choose Igor Thiago instead, and Bruno Fernandes. I could also downgrade him to Ambomo and then upgrade the defender to get Virgil van Dijk. So there is a lot of thought planning that I have, and yeah, still a lot of thinking to do.
Still
I mean,
some
what do you
thinking.
suggest?
Let me think. Well, you've got triple Arsenal in there, so that's good. Double Arsenal, not double Arsenal, um, double Chelsea for a good couple of fixtures. And what actually thinking about it would probably be after Chelsea's couple of good fixtures, um, Reece James to potentially be the one that you change to Van Dijk,
Yeah,
I would
definitely.
say. After
I,
Chelsea's
I
fixtures wrap up, and gives you a couple of weeks to see how Liverpool defence follows up that Real Madrid
yes,
clean sheet. You've got Anderson, good for DEFCON. Third,
absolutely. Yeah.
third budget forward to enable you to get more funds in that defence and also in the midfield. And you've got a range of price points covered. Yeah. Um, yeah, I think that's a solid squad there. And as I think Paul's first comments were of you'll have several benching headaches. That's that's certainly undisputed. Have you got
I mean, that's a good headache to have.
your bench boost left?
Yes, I have only used my triple captain and this wildcard, so I still have my free hit and bench boost.
Have you got planned when to use your bench boost?
Honestly, I do not have any plan to use bench boost yet, because I mean, trying to fix a team with bench boost, you have to sacrifice a lot. You have to upgrade the fund for your bench, so it's kind of ruining my team structure. So I feel like if I think that week is a nice week to bench boost, I will bench boost.
They're going to be quite flexible with it.
Yeah, gonna be quite flexible.
Okay, right. It'll be interesting to see your final one when we go through when we look at the team review next week, unwrapped.
Inshallah.
When we unwrap our teams from game week 11 in our recording on Monday. Paul, should we look at
Good
yours?
luck,
Hopefully, I
Mohammed.
bring heroes.
Right. Talk us through your team selection, Paul.
Right, I've done the deadly sin this week and done 2 transfers on Saturday night. So, which after the podcast we recorded on Monday, which you released on Tuesday, I'm beginning to doubt whether that was the best thing to do.
Are
But
those
I'll
mo
explain in a minute.
are those moves on screen? No.
Yep, they are on screen. There's my
Okay.
current team. Oh, wait a minute. No, you haven't changed. No, you haven't got my 2 new players on there.
Okay. So what are the two transfers?
So I downgraded Roofs to Dubravka and I saved £0.6 million there. Obviously, Sunderland's fixtures are turned. And Dubravka, he's got a good fixture in week 12. Not in week 12, in week 13, when
Yes.
Chelsea have got a harder fixture. So if I want
Mm.
to swap the keepers, I can then. But after the last podcast that we recorded, and that I could have got to Salah if I wanted to, and that for a
In two
minus
moves.
four, in 3 moves for a -4. But instead, I've just gone Bowen to Mateta, and that's why I did the move early because Bowen's price was going down 0.1 million, and Mateta was rising 1 million. But I could have gone down to Cooper Jr. and swapped Saka for Salah. I could have done that for a -4 this week
So
and
that would have been what?
changed my full.
So that would have been Roofs to Dubravka, Bowen to Krupi Jr. and Saka up to Salah for a
Uh-huh.
-4.
Yeah, but I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think that Saka and Mateta would score more points than Chaka and Salah? Obviously, Cooper Jr. would be my eighth attacker on the bench if I'd done that option.
This
No,
game
I
week,
think, yeah, oh, going forwards for the next few game weeks,
uh, Saka and
Saka and Mateta or Salah or Chaka. Which combination do you think would score more points? No, I've been thinking about it today, and I think that Saka and Mateta probably would score more points than
I do as
Salah.
well.
yes,
Yeah,
yes, I do. Saka and
so
Mateta will score more points. Unless if you are actually planning to captain Salah, then maybe Salah could get a little bit more points. But Saka and Mateta is the safest option. He cover two position nicely.
so hopefully I have got it right, and going early was the right decision.
Yeah.
So, so my current team is Sanchez in goal at home to Wolves, and playing a back three with Richards at home to Brighton, Gabriel away to Sunderland, and Senesi away to Aston Villa. Obviously, we get Defcons. I can't see him keeping the clean sheet. My midfield four, Castado at home to Wolves. Obviously, he was benched tonight, so he should start. Semenyo away to Aston Villa, Sarr at home to Brighton, and my vice captain Saka away to Sunderland. And up front, obviously, I've got Mateta now instead of Bowen at home to Brighton, Walter Mardy away to Brentford, and my captain at the moment's on Haaland. But it's whether I can't decide whether to gamble and change it to Saka. So, what would you guys do?
It's tricky because Sunderland are at home to Arsenal rather than the other way around, and Sunderland are quite tight defensively at home. Um, Saka, although at the moment his attacking returns seem to be in the Champions League, like several other um, FPL picks. Mm, yeah, I think at the moment Haaland's consistency, like at the
Yeah.
Etihad in particular, regardless who he's playing, can't
Yeah.
can't really be overlooked. Um, I guess Gabriel's essential thing. Sunderland don't necessarily score that many, so you could potentially go there for a bit of a differential um, side of it.
Yeah, they're the only three real captain options this week, aren't they?
Yeah. If have you actually see who I captaining this game week right now?
I didn't notice actually. I forgot to mention it. It's at that position where a lot of the time people are just automatically defaulting to Haaland. Oh yes, Reece James. I did notice it.
Oh
Yes.
Did
wow, I
notice it.
missed that.
I did notice it and was going to
Yeah,
question it, ask you, and then I missed.
It's either this game or Gabriel at the moment. I go a little bit differential this game week. I think it is a nice game week to go against Haaland since he is going to fight Liverpool. So it's either maybe Gabriel's game, Semenyo look tempting, and Mateta. Four of them is what I'm considering right now.
Mm. It is
Good
quite
luck.
a lot more open in a way.
Yeah, I think I side with you, Matt. Obviously, Haaland's at home and he's scoring every game. I think he will score.
Yeah, if it was at
It's to
Anfield
say,
after the Madrid game, I'd have more doubts. But I think with his ownership level as well and his form at the Etihad, I think I'm probably going to play safe again this week. I did though gamble and captain Gabriel in the Champions League, which was looking quite promising after the first night. And then I thought, you know what, Haaland's bound to score at least one, which means he'd match Gabriel's
Uh,
um, score. But then in the end, I went and captain Dumfries of Inter instead. Um, so yeah, the weekend, I think I'm highly likely going to captain Haaland. Um, yeah, that's moving back to pools. So should we have any other
I haven't gone
things?
through my bench yet.
Oh, yeah, very true. And also, how much have you got on your in your bank after these two moves?
I just look. I've got 0.7 in the bank now.
Okay, some flexibility, and
So,
you'll have one transfer next week.
yeah, so as I said, I was thinking of next week, Walter I could go up to Pedro. It's
Mm,
one move I'm thinking about for next week, depending on how Walter does and how many minutes he gets at the weekend. Or I could go the other way and go down to Krupa Jr. and just, reinvest the money elsewhere.
mm.
But that's for next week's video.
Thoughts on Paul's transfers and how his squad's looking, Mohammed, in your opinion?
I think it's looking good. I mean, obviously, the starting lineup very strong. Haaland, although against Liverpool, as we all know, he can score with any team that he can fight. Virgil van Dijk on the bench. I mean, that's totally fine. We know Haaland can
I've got a
score.
bad
So
feeling he's going to do something this week. Every time I bench him, he scores a goal.
What,
So I think,
Virgil?
could,
yeah, he did it in the
could
Champions
probably
League game to me last game week, and he's got a habit of doing it for me in FPL. So I think
yeah
he's going to get DEFCONs this week. But
Yeah, I think that's the thing. The way Man City play, I think if you're playing away to Man City in particular, I think defcons are pretty much for those certain centre
yeah.
backs.
I think
It's
that's
pretty much
pretty much
guaranteed.
will get it.
yeah.
Yes.
Would you guys play Chaka, or would you bench him like I currently have?
Bench him.
Of course, I will bench him. Yeah. I mean, if you want to start him, who do you want to bench?
Uh-huh. Well, that's the thing.
Yeah, I mean,
That the
your
other
team is
seven are
your
stronger.
your 11 is already strong for me, so I think this is nice.
Yeah.
But Chaka obviously can get DEFCONs. He's on set pieces. So I think I might have another heavy bench week again this week.
Mm. The
Let's hope
bench
that's not
king.
happening.
We
Yeah,
got
I
back.
think I might beat my record of last year, 399 points on my bench. I'm well on
Yeah.
track at the moment.
Those of you watching that, and we've had a fair few subscribers this season compared to last. Added on is if you fancy a bit of a comedy laugh, we had a joke in admins awards thing where I awarded through various different data and stats amongst the admins with some silly ones, some serious ones, and one of them was the I can't remember what I called it now, but it was in relation to who got the most points on their bench across the whole season, which Weasel won. I wasn't by a huge amount though, but you were the only one that got over 300 points on the bench over the
I
season.
thought the AA team got quite a lot of points, didn't they, as
That
well?
is strong.
Quite possibly, actually. 324 is somehow springing into my mind, or was that yours?
Now I got 399.
How much point you have on the bench already?
I haven't actually tallied it up. Obviously, I had 25 points last week.
25. Oh, God, that's a lot.
Yeah. I think it's going how last season went. The week I play my bench boost, I have my weakest bench
Mm.
points, which happened last season. And when I'm obviously not playing bench boost, I have really good weeks on my bench. So I think lessons learned for next year is to play bench boost on the fixtures when you think that there's going to be an awful week.
Mm.
It
Um,
might
Yeah.
surprise you.
yeah, I accidentally flashed up my team, so we'll skip on to that now, and it'll be interesting to see how well your bench does. What are your thoughts anyway? Out of the bench, if we try to imagine Roofs is Dubravka. Um,
You both agree bench and Rodham.
yeah, again, it's who would you put him in ahead of?
Yeah.
Richards is at home, Gabriel's Gabriel, and Senesi's more reliable than Rodon.
Yeah, Senesi, you definitely get the Defcons. And that Richards, I made the mistake of benching him last week. And the obviously Palace are at home. They got good defence. So Brighton are hit and miss. They have been scoring, but I could see them blanking this week as well.
Mm,
I know I said so in the score predictions. And
yeah.
Rodon, they're pretty Hull. As I said, when I play him, he gets 1 point. When I bench him, he gets his 13 or 17 points.
Mm, we shall
It's
see
quite
with
a knack
that.
I've developed.
Mm,
Don't worry too much, Paul. Your thing is already
Yeah,
looking nice. Statistically, very nice. But
it's why
anything
I
can happen
said,
in
look,
football. Just play.
right, let's skip over to mine. Right, so after my 83 points last week, which shot me up to a
0.6. Yeah,
two
that's fair.
2.6 million, which is not great. I'm nowhere near happy with that, but I'm looking on the plus side that compared to last season, I'm about 2 million places higher than I was at game week after game week 10 last season. And last season I finished 82k. So
I think
there's
it
hope.
has been a steady climb for you, actually.
So I've got a yeah, and I've got chips left. The only chip I've played so far is my wild card, I think. And not too sure which week or free hit bench boost. I'm actually thinking closer around the game week 16 or game week 18 mark, which I'm largely basing that on when, because Burnley are quite solid at home and Dubravka's a mainstay, it's kind of looking right when maybe the next opportunity that he might get his clean sheet and save points, bonus points, and by that point, it also gives me plenty transfers to switch Goodmanson to a different 4.0, 4.1 defender. So reading my team out as it stands, my bus team, in case I got hit by a bus walking to school. Um, I've got Pope away to Brentford in goal. I'm currently got a back three of Tarkowski at home to Fulham, Gabriel, my vice captain, away to Sunderland, and Timber away to Sunderland. Midfield four is Saka at Sunderland, Ndiaye of Everton at home to Fulham, but he is flagged after hobbling off with an injury on 62 minutes, I think. But I think first thoughts were it's not too serious. So we'll wait and see what Moyes says in his press conference on Friday. Then got Caicedo at home to Wolves, Semenyo away to Villa, and up front, João Pedro at home to Wolves, Haaland captain at home to Liverpool, and Voltemada away to Brentford. With my bench then sitting at Dubravka at West Ham, Reinders with Liverpool, Senesi at Aston Villa, and Goodmanson of Leeds away to Forest. I've got two free transfers, nothing in the bank. And at the moment, my initial thoughts are on hold because I'm going to ask you two what you think first of all. Mohammed, your thoughts?
About your team or the transfer?
Um, my team first of all.
I think the Saturday night, I think it is the best one. Maybe probably I will put Senesi in front of Reinders in the benching order, but other than that, this is the for me is the correct team to start.
Paul,
Yeah, I agree with your benching decisions. Now, obviously,
Yeah, I
transfer
mean,
wise, your
maybe
two Everton
probably I will.
players.
maybe actually before I say which players are um, most likely to be involved in the transfers, before I mention who they
Wait,
are,
wait.
see if you can
I
guess.
mean, first of all, I will be captaining Saka if I have this team.
Okay.
Yeah. So how many transfer have you made?
I've got two free transfers with nothing in the bank, and I haven't
I
done
see.
anything this week.
I think you probably will sell Tarkovsky, I guess, and Reinders.
You think Tarkovsky and Ryan does? Okay. Paul?
Yeah, I'd say the same, or maybe NGI, depending on his injury.
Yeah, you
They're
nailed
the
it.
three standouts.
Yeah, they are the three that are most at risk. Tarkovsky largely because of the potential need to raise funds.
Fine, fine.
Um, I guess the question is really whether I mentioned my first. Yeah, I meant since you guessed the players, I'll mention my first thoughts. I'm kind of um, where I'm weighing up opinions wise is whether to from a price point of view stick sell Tarkovsky, but for someone around the same price, a couple of names in mind, and therefore, well, one of which is Munoz of Palace. And if I went with him, I'd need to save zero point 0.2 or zero point 0.3 million off Reinders, which means Reinders, who my selling point for him is 5.5. So I then have a 5.2, 5.3 budget um, for a budget midfielder to replace Reinders. Um, and you can probably guess which two of the people I'm considered were on the thumbnail of the video. So that's
I
one
think Elliot
way.
Anderson.
Mm. And the Geordie boy adopted.
Kaka.
Yeah. So it's either that way round, or I drop Tarkovsky down to Gahey or Richards and use that to upgrade Reinders. So, for example, if I went down to Chris Richards at 4.5, then I'd be able to go from Reinders at 5.5 up to 6.5. Unfortunately, short of Ismail Assar, so I'd have to make an alternative choice. So that's the kind of yo-yo juggling 6-7, 6-7, which you probably won't get, but anyone that's got kids at primary school will get that joke. And it was terrible. So I apologize for the dance. Try Googling it or put it on TikTok if you're wondering what at all I'm on about. Because to be honest, I'd need 6.7, 6-7 for if I was going for Enzo Fernandez, hypothetically. I was going to say Declan Rice, but he's gone up to 6-8. So anyway, who would like to go first on those thoughts, or if you've got an alternative suggestion?
You're not tempted by Anderson again for Tarkovsky? So they've got great fixtures coming up. Obviously, he's a DEFCON
Tarkovsky
monster.
down to Joaquin
Anderson.
Anderson of Fulham.
Uh-huh.
Possibly, I am tempted, but then it's what keeps getting in my head is how Mark Gahey is over 30% owned. And then you've also
Yes.
got the ownership of Lacroix, Richards, and Munoz. Obviously, you may get the occasional person who's being extremely deferential and having double Palace defense, but I think
I've
from
seen that
Gahey's
more and
and the
more on X.
others, you've probably got best part of 40-45% of the game have got at least one Palace defender, and I haven't got any, which is why I'm thinking. and Joaquin Anderson's less than 5% owned, I think. So safer bet is to get a Palace defender, I think.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think by looking at this team, the only concern that I have is that you didn't have any Palace player. So I think
Mm.
targeting a Palace defender is a good strategy. But who do you want to target? Maybe you want to go Munoz for his attacking return. But I think right now the most reliable is Gehi. He can get attacking return. He can get DEFCON. But if you want to save fun, you can go with Richards.
Because
Richards
they're
hasn't been getting DEFCONs. It's the
because
biggest problem.
average DEFCONs, Richards has got the highest, then Gahey. Richards has got just over 10 on average. Gahey's got just over 8 on average, and Munoz is just over 7 DEFCONs per game. But then, Munoz plays a lot of the time as a sort of right winger, so he's likely to get more attacking returns. And because even going right down to Richards, I can't get from Reinders up to Ismail Assar on point one short, which makes me wonder if I go for one of the more attacking ones, then that covers attacking side of Palace rather than getting Sar or Mateta.
Yeah, I think getting Munoz is a good one. You can get those attacking output. But are you not maybe thinking about any Brighton asset? Probably Minte in midfield.
Well, that's the thing because I could with say Gahey and save 500,000. That 500,000 could go from Reinders up to Minto, um, or still even go down to Richards at 4.5, um, and still do Reinders to Minto. But then on the flip
Because I
side, if
mean,
I'm getting a Palace defender, I'm then bringing in Palace and Brighton when they're facing off this weekend. So I'd end up sort of benching one of them anyway.
True.
Or
I'd
what are
stay
your
clear of
thoughts?
Brighton players. That their fixtures aren't that brilliant. Obviously, Gomez might be a thing alternative at 4.9 million
I don't
if you
think I
did
need
want
to
to get
go
a
that
Brighton
low.
midfielder.
I'd probably think I would say the only reason for going that low would be out of consideration of whether Tarkovsky, that slot, that price point of five and a bit, saving point 0.6, that could then go on Van Dijk. So I'd then have a back three of Van Dijk, Gabriel, and Timber. Um, but I wouldn't necessarily make that move this week. I'd keep Tarkovsky and then switch to Van Dijk in game week 12. But as said, that would be if I was dropping from Reinders right down to a 4.9 or below. How much is Van Dijk at the moment?
He's gone down to
six.
6, I think.
Yes, yeah, he is 6.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that's got a minor bit of wiggle room. Um,
Are there any
You
midfielders you
can
really,
go with
really want?
Reinders to Shaka if you want.
sorry, say that again, Mohammed.
I mean, you can go for Reinders to Shaka. Oh no, Reinders already 5.5. Right? You need
Uh,
zero point
Rein,
0.5.
Reinders is 5.5.
Oh,
His drop on Saturday night or Sunday night, whichever it was, didn't
what's up?
affect my selling point for him. But if he goes down again, it would. Um, so in the hope that, well, if he started tonight and got 2 assists, then I think it's probably unlikely he's going to go down again before the weekend. I'd be surprised.
I've not seen the price changes the last few days. See
Mm.
any predicted ones?
So monitoring the time, what would be your first initial recommendations? Mohammed, yours?
I will say just sold the transfer for now.
You would say roll it. Okay.
Roll it. Because I mean, it's a good fixture against Fulham, and then after that you will get more flexibility to do your transfer. You got three, you can try to maybe adjust between the three of them.
Mm. Okay. Paul.
Yeah, wait for the team news on Friday. See what's happening with
Yeah,
NGI. Obviously, you could play
yeah,
Senesi if you wanted to and go 4-3-3 if he is
Mhm.
injured. But yeah, obviously you could have, as Mohammed said, three free transfers next week and get
Mm.
rid of all three.
Interesting thought. Where you can find us, usual scripting, emails, lowercase, FPL affairs, no characters at gmail.com. Our X handle, FPL affairs. Facebook, the link to our group, if you're not a member of the group, is in this YouTube um, channel description. So go there. And our YouTube channel, if you're seeing this or just following it by link, if you do want to search us um, in or on YouTube, then make sure you type the at symbol before FPL Affairs, and then the Spotify long gibberish link there as well. And if you are not member of, no, I'm looking at my screen. That corner down there, which is
Um,
probably actually more dark down there for me, and I'm covering my own
subscribe,
face.
please subscribe.
Yeah, like and subscribe, hit that bell to be notified each time we release something new. And if you haven't joined our mini leagues, the codes are there too. Don't forget to like and subscribe. So all that's left for me to say is keep your FPL affairs under wraps until Saturday morning's deadline, or if you feel you wish to comment it below or post it all over social media. Um, yeah, bye bye from me.
Bye-bye.
no, everyone.
Assalamualaikum.